Hello everyone, today we will be talking about the Five of Wands. You can see immediately when you look at this card, there's this feeling of unease. You can immediately see there's a conflict in this card. The card is very symmetrical, so the composition of the whole card is not chaotic at all, but we can see there are a lot of colors competing for our attention. The colors are contrasting each other rather than complementing. So we have this intense yellow background, and then we have the blue and purple of the lotus wands, and we have the purple and this kind of leaden navy color, like a grayish navy color of this middle wand here. So we can see that definitely this wand is more important. It's ruling over the other ones, and the other ones look like they are in conflict. It looks like the Phoenix wand is staring down the Lotus wand. You can compare this with the 6 and 7 of wands, where I feel this is a more harmonious way to present them. So the Phoenix wand is facing towards the Chief Adept wand rather than sort of backwards in the order. And here it is turned backwards towards the Phoenix wand. We are in the 5th Sephira of Gevura here, and if we can see our tree of life, we are in the ethical triangle. So Hesed, Gevura, and Tiferet form the ethical triangle, and this is Gevura is the opposite of Hesed in some way, because in Hesed we are building things up, and in Gevura we have to destroy some of it so that we can move on and achieve some balance in Tiferet. We are now in the first decan of Leo. So if you have a look at the decan wheel, we are in the suit of wands, so we are interested in the element of fire. So these are our fire signs. We were in Aries for the first 3 cards. Now we are jumping to Leo, and we are here 5 of wands is Saturn in Leo. And you can also observe here that Sun rules the sign of Leo. And this is this yellow background. This is the solar energy that we have presented here. Saturn is a planet that is all about restricting things. It's about putting limitations. Leo, on the other hand, is ruled by the sun, so it's all about being out in the open, out in the spotlight, achieving things, performing, being the center of attention. So you can see how these two energies are kind of fighting with each other here in this card, because Leo wants expansion, but Saturn is putting a limit on this expansion. So you can kind of feel that this is like a very big tension in the card, and this is the situation where there's like a pressure building up and it needs to explode. Something needs to happen to release this pressure. So this is the conflict that is presented here in this card. People who have Saturn in Leo in their birth chart are said to be very good leaders. And this is an important theme of this card, because Aleister Crowley says about this card that authority is derived from the superiors. Were it not so, this card would be thoroughly disastrous. Which means that this opposing energy of Saturn and Leo, here it's harnessed somehow because this Chief Adept wand is ruling over the other ones. So this is bringing some balance into this situation. This is why we don't have a complete chaos here, because there is an authority of the Chief Adept over the other ones here that look like they are fighting each other or they're about to fight each other. The Chief Adept wand in the middle has an influence of Hesed and the energy of Jupiter. So this is how it rules over the other ones, because it has the authority of Hesed. and the rules and regulations. So you can see this in this dark blue color here. This is the color of Jupiter, and we can see this in the lotus wands here as well, and in the heads of the phoenix wands. There is a very strong influence of divine feminine energy in this card, even though all of the background is the color of the sun, which is the divine masculine energy. The divine feminine energy in astrology is represented by the moon. And this purple color, especially in the top of the Chief Adept wand, is associated with Sephira Yesod and the moon. You can also see the same color here in the lotus flowers and at the bottom of the Chief Adept wand. So you might think, why there's a feminine energy, like what does this mean? This is connected to where we are in the tree of life. So we are now here. This is the feminine pillar of the tree of life. This is the masculine one. So this is called the pillar of severity. If you remember from my video about the tree of life, the third Sephira of Binah is connected with Saturn. It is also the archetype of feminine energy, the very beginning of it. And this is why it begins the feminine side of Tree of Life and the severity pillar. As I told you in that video, when we create life in Binah, we also create death at the same time. So this is the explanation of this idea that you might find it's contradicting itself, but really it is not. So there were goddesses in the ancient times that were connected with both like the archetype of a mother caring for children, but also at the same time they were goddesses of death. And these are the goddesses that Aleister Crowley connects with this card. They are Bastet and Kali. Here at the top of the Chief Adept's wand, you can see there's a 7-pointed star. This symbol is the Star of Babylon. Babylon is the Scarlet Woman, as Aleister Crowley describes her, and we can see her in the card of Lust from Major Arcana. And this card is associated with the sign of Leo. So there is a connection between this card and the Five of Wands, because this is the expansive energy of Leo, just following your passions, being the center of attention, just going after what you want. There's another card that is associated with the Five of Wands, and this is the Universe. It's because this card is associated with Saturn. Saturn is considered to be the last planet of our universe, and that's why it shows us the limits of our system, of the closed system that we are in here. So this is the limitation of Saturn and the expansiveness of Leo. The Star of Babylon, this is a symbol that Aleister Crowley used very often for himself, and this means the creative energy of male and female combined. This symbol is shown in two other cards in the deck. It's in this card because the first decan of Leo that this card is associated with is the rising decan of Aleister Crowley's birth chart. He was also connected with this card, and you can see the same symbol here on the chest. The Prince of Wands is ruling over this card and two others, but we will get to it when we talk about the Prince of Wands. But I just wanted to mention that this symbol is also here. We also have this symbol in the Ace of Discs in the middle here, because it is customary for the creator of the deck to put his symbol in the Ace of Discs card. I haven't seen this in any other decks, but I haven't looked for it. Let me know if you notice this in your deck that you are using. But yes, apparently this is a customary thing to do in your tarot deck if you are designing it yourself. Here we can see two serpents that are wearing the crowns of Lower and Upper Egypt, and this is a symbol of the opposites being joined together under one rule. So this is another aspect of this wand ruling over the other ones. In the background, we have 10 flames. If you look closely at these flames, they should remind you of other flames that we already saw in the Three of Wands. If you look at these long flames, they are very similar in shape. This card is associated with the Three of Wands in another way as well, because Aleister Crowley says that these lotus wands here are the daughters of the lotus wands from the Three of Wands. These phoenix wands here have this orange-red color associated with Gevura, and phoenix wand in general is associated with fire and purification, and like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So we also have this theme here of destruction being constructive in a way. The last thing I wanted to mention about the symbolism in this card is something that I am not sure about, because if you have a look here, the phoenix wands have these things at the end. It looks like a U-shaped bit, and the chief adept wand has a similar shape, but it's two wings. I had a look at different cards in the deck, and it looks like the lotus wands never have this ending. The phoenix wands mostly have them, but not all the time, and the chief adept wand sometimes has it, sometimes we can't see if it is there or not. I could not find anything concrete about this anywhere. Crowley doesn't seem to say anything about this himself. At least I haven't found anything, any quote from him explaining what it is. I had a look at the wands that are used in Golden Dawn that you can buy on their website, and they don't seem to have these spikes or this end bit. So yes, this is very mysterious, but I would love to find out, because it really has to mean something. It is there for a reason. But yes, the only reference I found to this is a very obscure one. It says that this is based on a shepherd's staff that has these spikes at the end, and they are used for catching snakes. So you can imagine that if this was a staff that you were walking with, this could be used to sort of like pin down a snake if it was if it wanted to attack you, for example. But yes, I could not find any photos of a actual shepherd's staff that would have something that looks like this. So this is a mystery, and I will show you some examples from other cards. So, for example, here, none of the wands have these endings. None of them. And in the 7, only the phoenix wands have these endings. And so, yes, this is very strange and mysterious. I'll show you again the Prince of Wands. He has the Phoenix wand, and you can see that it has this ending as well, the Phoenix wand. So it looks like the Lotus wands never have them. The Phoenix wands sometimes have them, like mostly they will have this ending. And then the Chief Adept's wand, sometimes it's invisible, sometimes it's covered, the end of the wand, so you can't see, but it sometimes has it, sometimes not. So I would love to find out what it means and why it's there, because I love to get into a huge amount of detail about the cards, and this is just annoying me that I don't understand. So if anyone knows, if anyone can shed any light on this issue, please do let me know in the comments, because I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't find out. So yes, let me know. The name of this card is Strife. So it usually means in reading that you are in a situation where there is a lot of competition or a lot of arguing. And for example, this can be a workplace situation. Maybe it's just because you want to realize your ambitions, you want to get a promotion, but there might be a lot of people who want the same thing. So then, you are in the middle of fighting for something. With this card, we do not know what the outcome is going to be. So we are in the midst of fighting for something, or in the midst of arguing. We don't know if we're gonna win or not. But it is a bit of a power struggle, so it can mean in a workplace fighting for a promotion or fighting for a better position. It also means sometimes that you're unhappy with your workplace situation, because healthy competition in a workplace, it's a very good thing. It can be motivating, and some people really enjoy working in this type of environment. But this card can also mean for someone who is not really, who prefers to work together and who prefers harmony. This card can mean that they're not happy with the relationships they have at work. And maybe there's just too much competition and too much arguing. This can also be a situation in a relationship. For example, maybe there is constant arguing with your partner, and no one really wants to, take a step back and be more cooperative. Maybe it's just, you're always arguing. It's always, both of you want to be the person who feels more important. So it can be a relationship trouble. This card also means you are striving for something better. So whether it is in a work situation or a relationship or anything else in your life, this is really striving to be in a better position, striving to have a better situation. If this card appears in your spread in a place where you have an obstacle to achieving something, then it might mean that there is too much arguing, and you just need to take a step back and look at things and be more accepting of other people's opinions. Because if this is an obstacle, if this card shows up as an obstacle, then it means that maybe you're just focusing too much on being on top, being the center of attention, like you want to get only what you think is right out of the situation. You're not thinking about others. So maybe you just need to be more accepting that other people have different priorities, different ideas, and it's sometimes better to work together in harmony, especially if it's in a relationship situation. Sometimes it is just better to see things from the other person's perspective and, be more accepting of other people's ideas and priorities. So this is how you can read this card. Also, this could mean an inner strife as well. This can be just a fight that is going on inside you. So maybe you have conflicting priorities, because in the Suit of Wands, this would be more your priorities rather than thoughts. Thank you so much for today. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. This really helps. Let me know also if anyone has any concrete info about these things at the end of the wands. I would really love to find out what they are for and why they are there sometimes and not other times. So yes, please, if anyone has any ideas, do let me know. And thank you. I will see you in the next video about the Six of Wands. See you. Bye.